Hey guys, this is Comic Anu, and today I'm doing a review for the Wonder Woman movie. So let's start talking about this. Of course, with my movie reviews, I do a non-spoiler portion and a spoiler portion, so I will warn you when the spoilers come. But what is this movie about? It is the origins of Wonder Woman and how she goes to man's land during World War I. So we really see her view on, of course, our world, but then also war. And that's pretty much the premise of the film, and quick thoughts on it is I loved it. I was in awe, you know, it was such a good movie where, you know, it's a 2.5-hour movie, and I was fearful of, like, alright, is it gonna drag? Like, you know, is there gonna be parts where I'm bored? And I was glued to the screen for the whole 2.5 hours. Gal Gadot just does such a great job at portraying Wonder Woman and portraying this innocence that she doesn't know much about the world, and she doesn't know about war and people. And this whole movie is about her learning about people, but also learning to be a hero, which, you know, some people compared this movie to first seeing Christopher Reeve's Superman, and I totally get that. And the reason I love this as a superhero movie is because it's a pure hero film. It's defining what a hero means. It's not about the action of let's get the bad guy. It truly is just Diana's hero journey, and I just love that. And it felt so different from other superhero films. And of course we live in an age where we get like superhero films like every 3 months or so. So I don't want to say oversaturated with them, but we definitely have a lot of them. So to have a film like this that kind of reminds you why superhero films should exist and why their superheroes are great and comic books are great, I mean, that's a special type of film, and Wonder Woman totally did that for me. And you know, I think it's the importance of having a female lead, and you know, we saw, you know, young girls going to the film line and saying, I'm gonna dress up as Wonder Woman for Halloween. It's that type of stuff that you go to the movie and you just love it. You want that for people that come out of this superhero film. So, and also I really enjoy the villains and the side characters. I think a lot of times with superhero films, they forget the side characters or they're just used as pawns. But the villain was really strong the way they built up that arc. And it wasn't just like, let's get the bad guy type arc. Again, there were other gears turning as they're trying to get the bad guy. And then the other supporting characters were really good, including Steve. Another aspect I love is that this is a feminist film, but that does not mean that the women are stronger than the men. It is an equal film. Steve was as strong as a character as Wonder Woman. He did not play a damsel in distress, and these two were partners, which really made, I think, probably one of the strongest romances I've seen in a superhero film, because they are both working together for a common cause, and you felt their love by the end of the movie. And, you know, again, that goes to Gal Gadot's performance and Chris Pine's performance. And even though this is very much an action, emotional movie, there is some spread of humor I thought they did very well with. The look of the film was great too. I love the colors, the music, the Wonder Woman theme was great. But the slow-mo, I was really surprised. I mean, the choreography is like, you know, your jaw's on the floor. How amazing the choreography is. You know, the movie opens up on the island and you're seeing arrows being thrown all over the place, of, you know, warriors jumping off of horses and doing twists in the air. It's so great. It was so great. So that's the non-spoiler portion. I'm giving this movie 5 stars. I just, again, just sitting in that seat, it felt like an experience, and again, with, you know, I've seen so many superhero movies, but it's been a long time where I felt a movie as an experience. So Wonder Woman gets 5 stars. Now moving on to the spoiler portion, you know, there's so many good emotional parts here, and I think Steve's, spoiler alert again, Steve's death was done so well. And of course you don't want to see Steve die, especially as a comic fan. You're like, but he's supposed to still be alive. But of course with the time period, Steve had to die. And I love that's when Wonder Woman realizes what it means to be a hero. She realizes that she fights the god of war that the good and bad is the balance of humanity, and we should embrace that and embrace people. And it was so interesting that you see this, you know, this naive character, and just her in awe of small things, of snow, you know, clothes. It just seeing that for the first time, and then her wrapping her mind of, all right, this is what the world's about. This is why I want to be a hero. She realizes the importance of being a hero through this, the ideals of being a hero. And again, I think with superhero films, it's so much about the action and building up a universe, and even though this is supposed to build up the DC Extended Universe, it was very much its own thing. And again, it's this about a hero complex. It's about being a hero and the journey of a hero, and more than anything than the action or, you know, collecting something. So I really enjoyed that aspect. Really liked it. And then going into Ares, I really enjoyed the idea of Ares because he was more of a conversation than anything. They're trying to go up against the Germans, and that's most of the story, which really builds as a interesting narrative of war, which obviously is very connected to Wonder Woman's character. So I love that idea, is that this was kind of a World War I movie, but at the same time a superhero movie, kind of a little bit of a spy movie. So you get a lot of different genres going on, but yeah, Ares is part of the final battle, and he's, you know, revealed, like his identity is revealed as one of the characters you didn't expect. At first I thought, oh, you know, it's gonna be Dr. Poison, I thought. Which, I think the weaker part is that I think Dr. Poison was just kind of thrown in there, but at the same time, she was probably one of the only plot devices in the film. Everyone else actually had character, even Wonder Woman's band of brothers. Usually those type of characters are just there for comedic relief, but those characters you actually saw post-traumatic stress, yeah, PTSD. We saw that through them. You actually saw their personalities throughout the film, and they weren't just plot devices. So I was really happy to see that. Even Etta Candy, she wasn't just there to be a comedic relief. She had a part too. She actually helped in kind of the planning of going to the Germans. So I was very happy with the supporting cast, because I think it could have easily just been about Diana and then used all the character development on her. But they really tried to make everyone important and have a role and actually feel like real characters. So I was very happy about that. So yeah, going back to Ares, I thought he was a really good villain, and I liked the way they built up to him, and that no one believed that Ares was real, and how, yeah, Diana did kill him, and that is when the war ended. I thought that was cool. And then it's obviously just Steve's perspective of, you know, Steve not believing her this whole time. He's like, I don't really believe you, but he still believes in her, even though not her ideals. He still believed in her the whole time, and you really see that towards the end of the film. And then it's Diana realizing what happens to Steve and how she unleashes her power as a god, which was cool. And I like that we got to see some of the present, you know, kind of tying into the Justice League movies. I thought that was cool. I feel like we just got enough of that, and I'm glad that Ben Affleck didn't make an appearance. I think that would have taken it out, but I'm glad for his references in that present time. I thought it was cool that was more of Diana retelling her story than like, all right, here's a story, you know. It made it a bit more connected, but also still its own thing. One nitpick, I kind of wish we saw the games. We didn't get to see the games, and then Diana proving herself of like, I'm a warrior, let me go with Steve. That's a small nitpick, just because following the origins, but at the same time I think it would have been too long, so I get why they would cut that. So I could talk about this movie all day. I loved it. I'm, again, giving this 5 stars. There was no ending credits, so there's nothing to talk about with that. And I don't know where this is going to take the DC Extended Universe, but I'm very glad that DC has a movie that is finally a success and really enjoyable. And I hope all their films could feel like this in the future. And I hope that Wonder Woman becomes the staple of their universe, because I think this movie kind of proves that. I think Wonder Woman really could be the forefront instead of Batman and Superman. Not saying that Batman and Superman shouldn't be the leads, but, you know, in the Trinity, we see Wonder Woman in the front, Batman and Superman on the side. I think that DC will really succeed with that, and I feel like this movie proved that. She just has a lot of depth, and Gal Gadot just does a really good job at portraying her. So, like I said, 5 stars. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the movie. And, of course, we'll be talking about this on Media Madness on Comic Frontline. We still need a date for that, so check out my Twitter for the day when we plan what day we're doing. And, of course, that will be at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So, hopefully, you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Inno. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, in the description below, there are links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.